Hey guys, welcome to the next episode of 5 Points Everything, and in this episode we're going to talk about a very interesting book. It's a very important book, I'll say. Very easily readable, but a very important book. The book's name is Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. It has no relation with eating a frog, trust me. It solves a very important problem in everyone's lives. Start doing the things that are there in your mind and stop thinking and stop procrastination. We have made it more easier for you by dividing it into the 5 simple points that we actually every time do. So let's get to the first point of this. So the first point is the ABCDE method. I know it's very basic, but it's a very important point. Let's get to the animations. It will make it more easier for you to understand. So let's start with reviewing your work list and put them in a piece of paper, point wise. Now put an A, B, C, D, E right next to them. A being the most important work and E being the least important work out of it. Select the job A and begin on it immediately. Discipline yourself to do nothing else until this one job is completed. Practice this ABCDE method every day for the next month, on every work or the project list before you begin your work. After a month, you'll have developed the habit of setting and working on your highest priority task, and your future will be assured. The second point of this book would be balance is not optional. A person has to have a balance between work and family life. You should not lose the sight of the fact that you're doing all these things so that you can afford to spend quality time with your family. The author gives a very good example in this. Let's get to that. So the author was at a convention center when a fan asked a question. Sir, how do you achieve a balance between your work and home life? To which the author replied, how often does a tightrope walker balance when on high wire? After a few seconds of thinking, they almost said the same thing, all the time. To which the author replied, this is the same situation with balance between work and home life. You have to do it all the time. You never reach a point where you have attained it perfectly. You have to work at it your entire life. So the third point in this book would be one barrel at a time. It's different from the second point, trust me. I think the example in this point would explain it in a more better manner because the author himself has gone through this, an experience that justifies this point. Let's go to that. So many years ago, the author was driving an old Land Rover through the Sahara Desert. At that time, the French had abandoned it for years and the original refueling stations were empty and shuttered. The desert was 500 kilometers across in a single stretch, without food, water, a blade of grass, not even a fly. It was totally flat, like a broad yellow sand parking lot that stretched to the horizon in all directions. More than 1,300 people had perished in the previous years. Most of them got lost in the night, never to be found again alive. To counter the lack of features in the terrain, the French had marked the track with black 55-gallon oil drums every 5 kilometers, which was exactly the distance to the horizon, formed by the curvature of the earth. Because of this, in the daytime, we could always see 2 barrels, the one we had just passed and the one 5 kilometers ahead of it. And that was exactly what we wanted to stay on course. The fourth point in this book would be creating a sense of urgency for everything in life. Do it right now. I think the animation format would make it more easier. One of the ways you can trigger the state of flow is by developing a sense of emergency, a sense of urgency. This is an inner drive and a desire to get on with the job quickly and get it done fast. It is an impatience that motivates you to get going and keep going. A sense of urgency feels very much like racing against yourself. The faster you move, the more impelled you feel to do even more faster. And then you enter the zone. One of the most simplest and the yet more powerful ways to get yourself started is to repeat the words, do it now, do it now, do it right now, over and over to yourself. The fifth and the most important point in this book is real happiness. It's called real happiness for a reason. You'll understand that from the animation. The main reason to develop time management skills is so that you can complete everything that is really important in your work, free up more and more time to do things in your personal life that gives you the most and the greatest happiness and satisfaction. 85% of your happiness in life will come from happy relationships with other people, especially those closest to you, as well as the members of your family. The critical determinant of the quality of your relationships is the amount of time you spend face to face with the people you love and who love you in return. The purpose of time management, of eating the frog and getting more done in less time, is to enable you to spend more face time with the people you care about, doing the things that give you the greatest amount of joy in your life. Trust me, nothing is more important and more worth it than this. So we end this video with this book called Eat That Frog. I hope I explained this book in the best manner that I could, and I have loved this book and I recommend this book to everyone who wants to start reading. I think this would form the roots and the base from which you can start your journey from. The one dialogue that I loved in this book would be, never discuss your problems with anyone, because 80% of them don't care about them and 20% are glad that you have them in the first place. Think about it.